What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Good Games Sportscast. And today we are not talking about good games, sports, or casts in the least and most selfish way possible at the same time. We will be discussing me and what my name means to me. I'm joined today by one of my co hosts, Bryce.
Hello, everybody.
And I'm going to try to have some pictures going in the background for you to watch, just so you're not looking at a black screen listening to me babble on for 30 minutes. Hopefully, it's not that long. But yeah, so for my English project here, we're talking about what my name means to me. And I know that's probably not a very easy topic to cover with somebody else. So I'm just gonna give it all. I'm just gonna kick it off with a little bit of background. My name is Carter. My middle name is Finley. Finley is a family name on my mom's side. Um, they both went to state, so the name Carter Finley is very fitting, being that it is the home of the NC State Wolfpack football team.
Boo.
Go Pack. Yeah, yeah, boo all you want.
Go Tar Heels.
Yeah, right. And so that obviously carries a huge part of my life. Like, I've grown up a Wolfpack fan. I've gone to many of the games. I go to the basketball games. It's very much red blood in the family. But along the lines of some of the stuff that NC State did, and they're very exciting, and that's kind of where I led into my paper with, as you'll see. I'm not going to outline the paper because you've probably already read the paper if you're listening to this. So I'm going to try and give it a different perspective. Being entertaining is something that I take good pride on, whether it be through my sports podcast. I play drums for my praise and worship band at church with my dad. He plays guitar. I do bowling. I get very lit up about that. I mean, I take Bryce here. Me and him have been to how many hockey games now?
I think it was like 3 last year.
It's probably more than that. There are so many things that I try to do in my life to bring excitement to it, to bring excitement to others, joy to others. Like, I don't want to. It sounds kind of like not humble at all to say that you pride yourself on being selfless, but I really do. Like, I try to bring joy to everybody else's life. And so I think, and Bryce, you can attest to this. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the name Carter?
I mean, like, just think about you, very, caring, very free. Like, you know, you always text me seeing how I'm doing and always wanting to hang out, record podcasts, which I know not too much stuff about, sports, but, he always jokes about how my knowledge of, football is just trash, which it is. I admit.
So, I mean, going along with that, I know the project is not as what you what you perceive your name to be, but I really have this idea of what the name Carter means. And I really, really think that there are just so many examples that I could say to put it out there about what the name is, but I think this video footage will do it a lot better. And so, whether it be through family history, I can go back, I think 8 or 9 generations, and Finley is still in the family name on my mom's side. I love looking at my heritage. I love visiting them. I love getting to know more about my past. The middle name is kind of the family name that kind of sticks. And I guess I learned a couple weeks ago via a certain English class that getting a middle name from a family name is kind of a Southern tradition. And my mom being from up north, kind of makes me surprised that I still got the family name as a middle name. So looking back on stuff like that, you never really perceive yourself in the context of your past family because you're very focused on your future, especially nowadays with how everything is. But enough of me babbling on about stuff like that. Another thing, I'm very adventurous, as you saw in the paper. I think the other two things I wrote about were being a leader, a servant leader, hopefully benefiting and incorporating good things into society based on my leadership, and then also a man of faith with the church I attend and all the church events that I go to. But if we're talking about more specific things, I mean, we have the family history. The middle name is more of a family name from my mom's side. Of course, the last name carries over from my dad's side. And I take great pride in both my middle name and my last name because it shows my roots. And I'm very proud of the rest of my family and who I am because of it. And so that's definitely something that I think of whenever I hear the name Carter. Because whenever you hear the name, no one's going to call you by your full 3-word name unless you're at your parents' house and you're in some trouble.
I've
because
heard that way too many times in my past. Thankfully,
oh
not anytime recent. But
yeah, that's something that I've heard a couple times. And like nobody ever calls you by your middle name unless you use it as your nickname. And then sometimes if you're, let's say if you have a pretty common first name, you hear your first and last name. But for me, it's always just been Carter or Cartoximus, as my friends would call me in middle school, and I still refer to myself as sometimes this day. And that would be a whole nother conundrum to get into because what my friends perceive of me, and that's kind of like the funny name that I've associated myself with. So that definitely moves more into the goofy side of me. But sticking strictly to what the essay is, and I'm gonna try to wrap it up here because it's going a bit long. But yeah, just me being me, everything in the family, um, whether it be my, and then like in addition the qualities of leadership, the faith, the adventure, and just the overall, I would say, a high octane lifestyle that I am. Really, I feel like in my belief is what the name Carter means to me.